Anyone seen Tony Robbins? Yeah, so my partner and I brought Tony Robbins to Europe. And as part of the reason why that's important is because in the early 90s, the industry was really new in the UK. And there was new companies arriving all the time, okay? And when they arrived, I got this reputation of actually knowing how the business works, knowing how the industry works. And what I realized is that the way this business is presented in the UK was not designed for the UK. It was designed for California. And I realized that because in the Tony Robbins organization, my job was to deal with all the books and the audio programs and all that sort of stuff. My job was to listen, understand them, and translate them into English. Because I don't want to shock you, but in the UK, they're a little bit negative.
Not too bad.
I'm serious. You can run into some negative people here. And in reality, what happens with many networks who start in the UK is they fundamentally don't understand, or they ignore the way the British mindset is. And it doesn't matter whether you have been in this country since they ran around in bear skins, okay, or whether you've been here for 3 or 4 years. The reality is there is a certain mindset that there is in the UK. That mindset is very similar in Europe, but it's different than what's in the States. And nearly every strategy, every system that is used in this industry, nearly all the books, except for mine, they are based on philosophies that don't suit this country. Okay? And what I did as a career, I changed what I did from being a sort of in the field or working corporate. I became the guy who deals with strategy, deals with leadership, deals with systems. So to me, I'm sort of like a high performance guy, because anyone can launch any network. Anyone in this room, you can just grab and go, yay, OneCoin, and go rushing around your town, and you run into some idiot who will give you some money. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Through your just the sheer enthusiasm, what will happen is people will be involved in the business. But what you won't do is take advantage of this opportunity. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yep.
And the challenge that you have, which is the challenge of OneCoin, is this company does in a month what other companies do in a year.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And so I'll tell you a little bit of a story of how I got involved in a second. Okay? But in the reality is that it's a nightmare. If you are a leader in OneCoin, it's a nightmare, because the company is 15 months old and it has broken nearly every record that there's ever been in the history of network marketing as far as how fast the growth is. Wow. I have a new Facebook page. It says Ed Ludbrook -OneCoin. Okay.
Wow.
I know some of you are on it, and if you saw, I posted a video of me and a friend of mine. We were in Dubai last week.
Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny, SVP. I think it was the first SVP in Europe. Anyway, I'm an old friend. I was his coach 20 years ago. In fact, I was his dad's coach. The point is that I said, hey, Kenny, if you had one thing to say to the OneCoiners all around the world, what would you say? And he said, basically, this is a sprint. You can make the same amount of money in 6 months that you would in 6 years in another network. And he's been in this business for 20 years, and he grew up. He started as a networker at 18 with his dad being the top leader in a telecoms company some people have seen before. Him and his dad were the people who made that telecoms company in Europe, if you'd like to know. And he's a very old friend of mine, and he said it's a sprint. And his challenge, because he's been involved in the company for 7 weeks, maxed out 3 centres.
Wow.
No, 5. Anyway, is getting his people to understand that they've got to get off their backside and go into action. That this is not a classic thing where do I need to know a little bit? Blah. Do you understand? The unusual thing about this company is the speed in which it's growing. And so what I want to do is to help you understand how to build it fast in this country. Because most of the companies that have been successful in this country, I was their coach. Okay, I was the founder of Utilities Warehouse. Wow. That's the owner. Wow. Okay, and whether it's Forever or Clean Easy or whoever they are, you'll find that I'm the guy behind it. My books have sold millions, and I've worked with organisations all around the world. And what happened was that I lived in London. I lived in London for 13 years, English wife, and we started to have kids. And I don't know whether you live in London with kids, but like honestly, if you had the choice, would you live in London with kids? No. No. Okay. Well, I'm a New Zealander, and if you've ever been to New Zealand, there is no one there. Okay. There's like 50 million sheep, a couple of orcs, and a few people, and it's a wonderful place to grow up. So anyway, we went back. I took my wife back there on a holiday, and then we haven't come back for 16 years. So unfortunately, she doesn't like it. She comes from the northwest, near Runcorn, and she doesn't like sports, the outdoors, or the beach. Like, where was that on the marriage contract, right? You just hit my top 3 favourite things. No, the point is that my friend Curry there, we've been mates we've been mates for about 18 years, I think. About 18 years. We met, and I was the sort of coach into this first company and next company, okay? And what happened was in the summer last year, so I don't know when it was, but it was about June or something like this. And I'm the guy that people call up and go, hey Ed, what about this company? Do you understand? Around the world. I've been the coach to many of the top leaders in lots of countries around the world. And so they go, hey, what do you think about this company? And hey, what do you think about this company? Because the thing is that I've worked as the strategist and the leadership guy in so many companies that, and I'm a New Zealander. And I don't know whether you know about New Zealanders, is that we're very blunt people. Okay? We're not very good with flowery words. We'll just tell it the way it is, and if you don't like it, yeah, stiff shit, okay? Do you know what I mean? And I know that works very well in the UK, correct? Yeah. You don't need me to do any motivational rah-rah or any of that sort of stuff. So for me, it's like, tell it how it is, and Curry gives me a call and goes, because we'd done work in this other company where he'd been the number one in the company, number one in Europe, and I'd been the advisor, and the guy behind it was a bit crazy, and he said, I'm gonna move on, okay? And I went, okay, which one do you think? And he went, that company, and I went, no. That company, no. That company, no. Oh, but it's booming and amazing events, no. Don't do it, because this business, you got to work hard, right? Yeah? Yes. And so you have this period where you put in all the effort. And the history of this industry is that people putting massive effort into companies, and either they don't grow or they boom and then they bust. And if you think a boom is amazing, well, hey, a bust is like tearing your hearts out. Okay? And often they don't understand why. And I'm the guy who they normally ask, why? Why did it happen, Edwin? Or please, can you fix it? And normally I can't, because the fundamentals of the business are wrong. Do you understand that? Yes. And so for a long time, I'm the guy in the world who people ask about the fundamentals. what do you think about that company? And they tell, oh, this is the fastest growing company around. And I go, but it won't last. And it won't last for that reason, it won't last for that reason. So when obviously one of my great mates gives me a call and goes, oh, I'm doing that, and he goes, I'm going to do this company called OneCoin. Have you heard of it? And I went, yeah, I think so. Because I normally told about most things, and I said, oh, I'll just check it out. And I called him back the next day, and I went, you've got to be joking, dude. Crypto what? Currency what? Man, it's a money game with money. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're not even pretending. And he goes, no, you have to have a look into it. And he knows what I'm like. So for me, I start with the product. Do you understand that? Yeah. I start with the product. I couldn't care about the company and all that sort of stuff. I always start with the product. And as I said to him, I did an enormous amount of research on cryptocurrency and the way they're promoting it, and I think and all that sort of stuff. And he said, what do you think? And I went, well, this cryptocurrency thing, it has an obvious future, okay? You know, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you got to meet Dr. Rusha, you got to meet Dr. Rusha. And I went, well, maybe, okay? And I'm in New Zealand, right? Have you ever flown to New Zealand? Do you have any idea? It takes 26 hours non-stop from the UK. Okay, I'm going from Sweden. We're going to be in Sweden on Sunday, and I literally run out of the event to hop in the car, into the taxi, and 38 hours later, I arrive home. Do you understand? Non-stop. So he's going, why don't you just come over? Come over and have a look. You got to meet Dr. Rusha. And I'm going, what? Do you understand? I'm like, why would I want to meet her? No. And he goes, no, you have to meet her. And anyway, we went through this process for I think nearly 3 months. For nearly 3 months. And he said, they need your way of looking at things. This company is growing so fast, it's mental, and I think this will be the big one. And I went, I think you're right with this cryptocurrency, but I'm not sure the way they're presenting it is the right way. And he goes, well, you can fix it. You can fix that. Thanks, dude. Okay, so, and I came over and we arranged that I flew to Bulgaria, 32 hours. So I flew to Bulgaria, and it was quite funny. And after an hour, like, you know, I know the questions to ask, okay? I know the questions to ask. And she had all the answers, and that was like, okay, here's the answers. She had the answers to those tough ones. And I went, okay, this may be real. And because of that, she said, hey, look, Ed, can you give us a hand? And so behind the scenes, for about 3 months, I've been working on the next generation of OneCoin. Wow. Okay? Yeah. So in the next week to 2 weeks, you'll see new presentations, new training, new everything coming out. Okay, and it's just, and the reason why I've done this is because fundamentally, the concept of this cryptocurrency and how Dr. Rusha has designed OneCoin, which is fundamentally unique. In fact, the first time I had a serious conversation with Dr. Rusha was I sat down with her and I said, I've looked at every presentation and every discussion used in this company, and I've watched all of your presentation speeches. And do you realize that what you say is different from what they say? And she said, yes. And I went, they don't get it, do they? And she goes, no. I went, okay. And I said, that's incredible. You're the fastest growing network in the world, and the leaders still don't understand the really big opportunity. And so in the next week or so, I even have the slides, I may be able to do it tonight. There is a new way of looking at the OneCoin opportunity. Because the current way of looking at this opportunity is simply, hey, this is cryptocurrency, and it's going to be massive. And have you ever heard of Bitcoin? And everyone knows about Bitcoin, but hey, did you see what happened to the price? It started at 10 cents and then grew and grew and grew and eventually boomed to $1,203 and still is over $300, but you've missed out on the Bitcoin boom. And here's OneCoin! Would I be right there? Yes. Yeah. And if that's what you do, I can tell you, you're the same as everyone else in the world. And frankly, we don't want to lose that. Correct? Yes. It's a great story, but there's a problem with it. What's the problem with it? What do you mean there's a problem? No, seriously, the problem is really obvious. Who's going to buy the coin? Yeah. Who's going to be the customer? Us. The customer is not the miner. Who's going to be the customer? Yeah. Because I look at this, I'm like you. I come from a country with a strong currency. Sound as the pound. Correct? You come from this country has strong currency. So why the hell would you want another cryptocurrency? Come on. Because if you can't answer that question, then why would you ever mine coin? Think about it. If you don't have, it's like you're building beautiful houses and there's no one, you don't know who's ever going to live in them. Does it make sense? Because at the moment, what happens with all new pioneering companies, okay, this is reality. What happens is you can take anything and with a whole lot of enthusiasm, build a network. Do you understand that? Yes. Ooh, this isn't just water, this is wonder water. Do you understand? And this is going to be in the future, it's going to be amazing. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit, bullshit. Okay, so, but what happens is just when you do all that work building the network and just when you're trying to cash out, reality will hit. And if this thing is not worth the money, guess what? Guess what? You don't get the cash back. And what happens with pioneering companies is they get people like you get excited about the opportunity, correct? Yes. Especially one like this. No one has ever made so much money so fast in the history of network marketing. No one. Nowhere. Okay? That's why I'm interested. Trust me, I don't want to be in this rubbish weather. Do you know what it's like in New Zealand today? 25, baby. Yeah, it's just nice. I'm here because this is the most exciting product opportunity I have ever seen or heard of. Okay? And that's because I know the answer to the question, who would want to buy cryptocurrency? Because without the answer to that question, everyone who has any sort of strategic or business brain is going to go, is there a future for this company? You will never understand why Dr. Ruja says we have to be private until we have mined 80% of the coins. Yeah. You'll never understand it. And therefore you will never ever tap into the real power of this business. Does that make sense to you? Yes. And the great challenge with this industry in the UK is that people are negative. Yes. Okay? They're negative. as Kari referred to this idea of having a positive mindset. One of the great challenges with the UK, and one of the great challenges for the entrepreneurial pioneers sitting in this room, okay? The challenge with you is you are not like them. Did you know that? Well, you're not. The challenge is that you have the confidence to be able to see something in the future so that you get off your backside and do something about it. Do you understand that? Yeah. And the challenge with the normal people, you're not normal. You are literally, in the UK, the research said, I know because I did it, research says that only 2% of people in the UK have the natural self-confidence to overcome things and to go into action. 2%. But we are a business based on what? We are a business based on what? No, we're a business based on the mass market. We are not a business based on the 2%. We are a business based on the mass market, not the 2%. And the challenge is those people who are 2%ers don't understand the 98%ers. And because they don't understand the 98%ers, they don't act in a way that attracts the 98%ers, or what happens is they join, get excited, lose their confidence, and quit. So you end up with a business that churns people, and you'll come up with things, you know, you're just a quitter. Some will, some won't, so what? Next. And the reality is that's just money walking out the door. And the challenge with this business is this, is that you are taking something unique into the marketplace. Okay? You're taking something unique. So the people out there will naturally want to cut you down. Correct? Yes. And the person, you know, they go, blah, 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 you know, it'll never happen. And you just say, thanks, Mum. You know, you're just like, you're surrounded by those people. And if you don't understand what we're doing, you will lack that natural confidence. People talk about motivation being the key because they don't understand motivation. Motivation is not the key. This is not Uzbekistan, okay, or Rwanda. This is in the UK. Anyone in the UK can succeed, correct? Yes. Everyone in the UK can succeed. This is a land of opportunity. So everyone has the motivation inside them. The problem is they don't have the key to release it, and the key is what? What's the key?
Confidence.
It's more than just confidence. Someone asked me before, a lady there, she said, there's no secret to success in network marketing, and I went, you're wrong actually. You're actually wrong. And this is why pretty much nearly every book on network marketing is wrong. Because they don't focus on what really is important. And what's important is confidence in success. It's just not confidence, it's confidence in success. Someone will look at your offer of your educational packages and the tokens that they have allied to them, and the reason why they will say, yep, I'll go for that tycoon package. The reason is confidence, not just confidence, confidence in success. And so you have to make sure that you become great at helping them realize that it will be successful. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Because it's not just about you. In this country, there are literally millions of people looking for an opportunity, correct?
Yes.
Millions. There is also just an avalanche of money looking for a good home, correct?
Yes.
And do you think that you should be giving that money a good home?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Say hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The point is that absolutely that's what you want to do. So when you talk to someone about, say, hey, earning some money, building a one-coin team, the reason why they'll join is because of
Confidence
and success. For 25 years, I've been asked the question, Edward, is there a secret to recruiting? And I go, yes, there is. And they go, wow, is it a tool? Is it personal development? Is it your mindset? And blah, blah, blah. And I go, no, all of that's garbage. All of the latest tools and the latest books and the latest things have never, ever, 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 ever changed the ratios of creating success in recruiting. Do you know that? Whatever you hear, it's all garbage. It's just someone selling a new deal. What happens if you turn around to a room of people and let's say you ask new people, and they're all new. Okay, so tonight, if we turn around to all these new people and prospects and we said, how many people do you think that you could sponsor? What do you think the average answer would be?
100 or 5.
No, these are new people. How many people do you think that they would honestly say they could sponsor?
0.
0, 1, 2, 3. Are you going to be successful in Mindscape? Mindscape, you know that kid's going. In one coin, if you sponsor 2 people. Hello?
No.
Say no.
No.
It's a good start, right?
Yes.
But you've got to be able to do more than that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we know that people are set up for failure. And they say, well, Edward, how do we change that? And I go, it's really simple. How many people could you sponsor if you knew they were going to succeed? And everyone does what? They all start laughing, oh, I sponsor everyone. Do you understand that? The reason why someone can sponsor versus someone cannot is because of their success. The reason why someone goes, okay, I'll bring a package is because of their success. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So that's lesson number 1. The secret to success in one coin is success. And for you, you have to work out what you need to know and feel comfortable with to be able to talk about confidence and success. For me, I had to answer the question, who's going to buy the coin? Who's going to buy the coin? Do you know?
Everyone.
No, not everyone. What's that? What a load of garbage. Maybe I do the presentation tonight.
Yeah.
I've got the new one.
Good. I think we can't need
I'll do the presentation. It's a new one. It's not out yet. But it's not the newly designed one, but it looks okay. The point is that when you know what needs the coin, and if you ever bothered to take and listen to what Dr. Ruja says, you would know exactly the answer to the question. I don't even want to go back and tell her now that you guys don't listen to her. Okay.
People without the banking system.
Unbanked remittances. Protect your income. Unbanked remittances. Protect your income. It's a $1 trillion opportunity. And when you understand that, then you go, holy crap. Because there's a specific twist on it. And the genius of Dr. Ruja actually is she saw the twist. And that's when I sat down with her and I said, "You're doing that, aren't you?" And she started laughing. And I said, "No one else has said that." And she goes, "No." Which I don't believe. I think she's just being nice to me. And I went, "I get it." And when I got that, OneCoin had me. Okay? OneCoin had me. And I have quite a good reputation. You understand that? I've been in the game for a long time, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be honest, it has leaked out a little bit that I'm involved with a company and I get these messages from top networkers and other companies going, "No, you're not at OneCoin, are you?"